You're listening to Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, where we talk retirement, building wealth, and outrageous generosity.
Nick joins us up first in Birmingham, Alabama. Nick, welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, George and Rachel, how y'all doing today?
We're doing great. How can we help?
Good. Well, real quick, I just wanted to say that my wife and I paid off all of our student loans last year, and, that's created so much positive momentum for us, and we're going to be paying off the house within the next couple of years, and so we don't regret it one bit. So,
nice, Nick.
We'd love to hear
Congratulations.
it, Nick. Way to go, man. How can we help today?
So kind of along the same lines, I have a couple of young kids, and I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I was just curious with these morons in Washington keep on making these student loans and people keep on accepting them. I guess a concern of mine is tuition cost is going to skyrocket over the next 10, 15 years. And so I was just wondering if you had any feedback or advice on how to look at these 529 plans in terms of how much to contribute, when is enough? Is college even going to make sense in 15 years? And just wanted to see if y'all had any feedback on that.
Yeah, well, the college discussion, it's an interesting one, not just because of the news in the last 48 hours, but also I think that there was conversations before that happens on what is college going to be. The questions that you're asking, Nick, I think we all kind of are. I'm like, I don't know.
Future of education.
My kids are exactly your kids' ages, and I'll tell you, my husband and I still contribute to a 529 for each of our 3 kids. We're still doing the path because at the end of the day, I'm like, money invested in that. If they choose to go to college, it's going to be there. And we kind of will continue to check in on that throughout the years because it is going to be a lengthy process, right? Still 10, 15 years till that happens. But I mean, there's a little bit of me, I'm like, it's a question mark of what education is going to look like, what it's going to be like, what the price is going to do. Is it going to continue to go up, or is there going to be a huge backlash from our culture? And
what your kids will want to study and where they will want to go to school.
And honestly, the trade route has become even more popular. Even if you want to get into, coding and make great money, you just got to go to code school, and then you don't need a college degree. So it's just fascinating. I feel like what the discussion is as a culture, Nick, but I can just tell you what I'm doing. We are continuing to fund a 529 for our kids because I do think at the end of the day, if there is a question, I think having a college degree, having higher education, I think it is a great thing. And if I can provide the financial assistance alongside my kids, I am going to do that. But I think it is, and all of us Ramsey personalities, even kind of different, various opinions. Ken would probably say, I would give a different answer than I would. But
and Delony's got a different opinion on education. But
what do you think, George?
I just think we can prepare for the future without worrying about the future. And a lot of people, they're doing both, and sometimes that means they're doing less preparing and more worrying. And so the fact that you're even calling and wondering about this with a 5 and 2-year-old makes me feel like, all right, Nick's got a game plan. You're on track to pay off your house. We're on track to save for college. Now, if you had a 17-year-old and you haven't even talked about college, I'd be more worried right now. But the fact that you are getting ahead of this thing, and if you just contribute to this 529 and go, all right, our goal is to have $100,000 by the time they're 18, and let's see what things do as they get there over the next 12, 15 years. And at that point, we'll have a much better picture of what your kids are going to be going after. They may want to go into the trades, and they can still use that money towards that. You can change the beneficiary in the 529 anytime. It can be used for anyone in the family. So I'm less worried about overfunding it, and I'm more worried about underfunding it. So I think it's okay to lean towards the other side.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for the call. Yeah, the best thing you can do as a parent, in my eyes, Rachel, obviously you have kids and they're young and so you're thinking about this stuff, but it's having the conversations early and helping them figure out what that path is. Because a lot of kids just wander into a degree they think sounds good, that they think will pay well with a job at the end of it, without actually figuring out, what am I wired to do? What am I passionate about? What would fuel me versus what would put food on the table?
That too, but also to be like a little bit against that. I'm like, at 18, how do you know?
You don't.
Right? Like that's what's hard too is you get a degree, and I even have a great friend, and she got an accounting degree, so she's an accountant, very successful, but she hates it. And she's like, but I got a degree in this. This is all I've done. And so like, it's just, I do hate that I'm like, as these 18-year-olds, you kind of get boxed in.
Or the pressure of like, you better have it all figured out at 18.
I know, but then also it's like, yeah, but getting a college degree in a lot of fields helps you.
You're going to sink a lot of money and time to the next 4 years.
So it is. It's an interesting perspective to really look into in what is the ROI of a college degree these days. And to your point, though, also, what are you passionate about? I mean, I know kids that they're like, school's just not my thing. It's not my thing. And some parents force them to still go get a 4-year degree.
Oh, that's the worst.
Some don't. I mean, it's just, it's a fascinating conversation.
Yeah.
And then in the last 48 hours too, it's kind of blown up. So.
And so the culture I grew up in was a Middle Eastern culture. And it's very much, you're kind of pressured to go be an engineer or go be in medicine because those are good, respectable, reputable fields that pay well. And it ends up great for a lot of those people. But a lot of times you wake up after you get your degree and you go, I don't want to be an engineer. This is not what I was put on earth to do. And so there's both sides. We don't want to put too much pressure on the kids, but we also don't want to just let them figure it out on their own. We can help them along the way.
Exactly.
Thanks for tuning into Ramsey Everyday Millionaires. To check out all our podcasts, just search Ramsey Network on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.